This is a video to demonstrate the Access Chapter 1 simulation training. So in the first step here, we're going to create a new desktop database in the Documents folder, and we're going to use the name ACC01_permits. So to do that, we just click on this blank desktop database because it says to create a new desktop database. And once we do that, we're going to put in the file name of ACC01_permits, just like it shows here. And we're going to click Create, and that completes step 1. For step 2, in the datasheet view, which we're already in the datasheet view because it shows right here, we're going to change the ID field name to Contractor ID and the caption to Contractor ID. So to do that, we click on this ID field and then select Name and Caption from the Properties section. And for our name, we're going to call it Contractor ID, and the caption is Contractor Space ID. And then just click OK, and that completes that step. Now in the datasheet view, we're going to add a second field named Company Name. So to do that, and we want a short text data type, so we're going to click here, going to select short text, and we're going to call it Company Name. So we just type Company Name in there, and and then change the field size to 50. So to do that, we click on this and go up here. Make sure we've got the company name field selected, and change the field size to 50. Hit enter. And once you hit enter, then we're going to save the table with the name Contractors. So we go up here and click on our save icon, and we're just going to call it Contractors. Essentially what we've done here is modified table 1. We added a second field to the table in addition to Contractor ID, and we now have Company Name. So we click OK, and that completes that part of the step. So while we're in the datasheet view, which we're still in the datasheet view, we want to add the quick start fields in column 3 and 4. So we're going to click on this and make sure we've got that selected. And under the More Fields option in the Add and Delete, we're going to select, scroll down, and we'll find Name as one of those quick fields. So click Name, and that adds the last name and first name to our table, and that completes step number 2. Okay, for this next step, we already have a table defined with a Contractor ID. These are the fields we've got: Contractor ID, Company Name, first name, last name, phone, email. So this is similar to what we'd modified previously, but they added the phone and the email fields to the table. So now we're going to start populating our table with some real data. So we're going to add a record with a company name of Front Porch Construction. So we click on the company name in the append record line, and we know that's the append record line is the one that has the asterisk there. So we're going to put company name of Front Porch, and porch is not spelled correctly, you'll notice. Front Porch Construction, and then we're going to hit enter, and we're going to leave the first name blank because we don't know the first name, but the last name is Porch, which I guess explains why that's spelled incorrectly. So hit enter, and then we enter the phone number, which is open parentheses 805 for the area code, close parentheses, space 555-7721. And then when we're done, we're going to click in the append row, which is this row right below it. And now we want to set the column width to best fit for the company name column. So we're going to click here on the company name column, and we're going to go up here to, I believe it's the More selection under Records, and we have an option there called Field Width. So we're going to click that, and we're going to select the best fit. And that'll make the column width whatever the size is necessary to accommodate the data that's in that field. So for this next step, we're going to create a new table that's going to be called Permit ID. So we're in the design view already. We're going to click on the Create tab, and then in the Tables section, we're going to select the Table Design option. And our first field name is going to be Permit ID. So, we want to assign a data type of short text, which is what comes up when we select that. And then we want to set that as the table's primary key. So I'm going to go up here and select this primary key option. And now in the design view, we're going to add a second field named Start Date. So to do that, we're going to click on this first empty field name row, and we're going to type in start date as our field name, and we're going to set that to a short date. So we want this to be date, time, data type. And then down here in the Properties section, we're going to select on this Format row, and on the pull down, we're going to select Short Date. And for our caption, we're going to type in, so the caption is down here, we're going to type in Start Date. And then hit Enter. And now we're going to save the table with the name Permits. So to do that, we just go up here and click on our Save icon. And when the dialog box comes up here, we're going to name it Permits. And that completes that step. So in this next step, we're going to display the relationships window, and then we're going to add two of our tables, and we're going to create a relationship between those two tables. To do that, click on the Database tab, Database Tools tab, and in there is a Relationships section. We click on the Relationships, and it says to add the Permits table first. So to do that, we just double click on the Permits table, and then we're going to add the Contractors table, and then we're going to close this box. And now we want to create a one-to-many relationship between the Contractor ID field in the Permits table, which is right here, and the Contractor ID in the Contractors table. So we're going to just click on it in the Permits table, and we're going to drag our cursor over until it's over the Contractor ID in the Contractors table. And then it'll bring up this Edit Relationship, and we want to enforce referential integrity and then select both of those cascading options. So by clicking on the enforcing the referential integrity, it will make sure that the relationship is one-to-many and we don't have the opposite. And we're going to cascade upon update related fields. So, and then cascade on the delete related records, and click on Create. And that created the relationship. And now we're going to create a relationship report by just clicking on this tools. In the Tools section here, there's an option to create a relationship report. So we click on that, and then we want to save the report using the name suggested in the Save As dialog box. So if we click on the Save button here, it's going to create or save it as this default report name, and we'll click OK, and that completes that step. So for this next step, we're going to open the Contractors table. So to do that, just double click on the Contractors table, and then that opens it up in the datasheet view. And for the fourth record down here, you can see there's a little plus sign. We're going to expand that, and then that'll create, it opens up the sub data sheet, and we're going to add a permit number called whatever that says, B1018-504 FRSW, and we're going to have a start date of 7/21. So we can just select on the from the calendar option here, and then when we're done, we're going to close the table. So we're done. So to close the table, we go up here and click on the X to close it. So basically what we did there was we added that one permit to that sub-record or sub-data sheet. Access allows you to import data into your table from an Excel spreadsheet, and so we're going to demonstrate that in this step. So to do that, we're going to go up here to the External Data tab, and we're going to select Excel because we're going to import an Excel spreadsheet. And we're going to go up here, and we're going to click on the Browse to find the one that the spreadsheet that we're looking for, which is this one. Click Open, and then we want to append it, and we're going to append it to the let's see, permits table. So on our pull down here, we're going to select permits, and we're going to click OK, and then when the wizard comes up, we're going to just accept all the default options and then click Finish, and then close our dialog box. And that completes that step. Okay, so we're going to sort the data sheet in ascending order by start date. So we can click anywhere in here, and then up here in the sort and filter section, we can click on the ascending, and it'll sort it in ascending order. And now we're going to use the number filter to filter the data sheet to display only records where the fee values are less than 75. So we're going to go over here to the fee, click on this pull down menu. We're going to use the number filters, and we want to use the less than filter. And if we type in 75 and click OK, then it'll filter it down to only records that have a fee of less than $75. And then we want to further filter it so it displays only permit numbers containing the text ELEC. So we go over here to the permit number and use the text filters and the contains filter and type ELEC and OK, and it should get rid of that one that says PLMB, and now it shows only the electric permit types. Okay, so we're going to, in this step, change the datasheet's font size to 10. So if we click on this corner here, it highlights the whole datasheet. I'm going to click up here in this text formatting section. We can change the font size to 10, and then when we want to change the font to Verdana, we do the same thing. Click on the pull down there for the font and scroll down and find Verdana. Select that, And then we want to set the data sheet's row height to 15. Excuse me. We're going to go to the More option here and row height. And we're going to set that to 15 and click OK. And then we want to hide the contractor field. So if we select that by just clicking on the column heading there and then right click and select hide right here in about the middle, and that hides the contractor ID field, and that completes step number 9. Okay, so for this last step we want to display the permits table in the print preview. So to do that, we've got the permits table open. Go over to File, select our File menu, and click on Print, and then select Print Preview. And we're going to change the orientation from Portrait to Landscape. So go up here to Page Layout section, select that, and then print the data sheet. So click on Print, and click OK, and that completes the assignment. So you click OK to submit your assignment. That's it.